So I gotta clear out space on my phone. I keep forgetting to do that. So I was looking at profiles on OkCupid today and yesterday. Not so much, my dog is like tapping right outside my door. Not so much looking for a girlfriend, although, I mean, ideally it'd be really cool to find someone that not only am I attracted to and are they attracted to me, but also, you know, have a love of like at least making art, if not making videos together and stuff like that, but you know, not holding my breath. No, mostly I'm on there just trying to make friends. Local friends, because I have many online friends and I really love and appreciate you guys, but it'd be nice to have people I can hang with outside of, you know, outside of the phone and the internet. Anyway, so I was looking at profiles and a lot of people have something they call Spoonie in their profile. God, dog, you are such a stalker. He follows me room to room. Anyway, and so they have this thing called Spoonie, and I've heard of it before, but I looked it up just kind of out of curiosity to have it more thoroughly clarified. And basically Spoonie is people that identify with chronic illness, described as having, you know, spoons as a unit of measurement of how much energy and capability of doing what you want to do you have throughout the day. And so a lot of people like with fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue or whatever will identify as Spoonies. And I was thinking, is it self-centered or is it valid for me to identify as a Spoonie because of my chronic daily headache? That, if you didn't know, we all had COVID February 2020 and it was really, really bad. And for months and months and months, I had chronic fatigue, I had racing heartbeat, I had gut pains, which my doctor at the time was like, I don't know, acid reflux, because we didn't know for so long how many different bodily systems COVID can affect. And then in August 2020, I was playing Divinity Original Sin with my husband, which is not a super fun game to play with him because he reads really fast. So I'm always like having to tell him to wait until, you know, to skip to the dialogue or whatever. But we were playing it and all of a sudden I had this like, whoa, whoa, whoa feeling only on my left side. And it really freaked me out. You know, we had health insurance at the time and through his work, and I managed to go in and see my PCP pretty quickly. And I had already seen her like so many times that year because of, you know, long COVID symptoms. So I'm sure they were sick of me. But she didn't know. She referred me to a neurologist. I had one MRI. And they weren't able to get a complete picture because it turned out I had a BB in my head from many years ago. I was walking to college, to community college, which I went to at the same time as high school. And I used to walk past these like shitty apartments and I heard a whizzing and something hit the top of my head and I started bleeding and everything. I went to the campus police, who was this fat pig of a fucking, you know, wannabe cop who like said I was making it up because I was creative as I have blood coming down my head. Well, turns out I had a BB in my head for, you know, 2 decades. So when I got my first MRI, metal will block, you know, block the signal. So it's basically just shows this big black hole or whatever. So I had to get the BB out to get a full picture, but I had already spent my, you know, max what insurance will cover that year. So I decided to wait until the new year, to get it taken out. And so I did that. And then I got the second MRI, and the second one, they did a full contrast one where they like put something in my blood so that they could even see like the blood veins or whatever. And that came out totally negative. And I was like, are you sure? Are you sure there's no tumors or anything? And they're like, nope, there's nothing. So I try to take comfort in that. I try to, you know, tell myself that it's just a headache. It's not anything, you know, malignant. I mean, it's really fucking annoying having it, but and it hasn't gotten worse. It's gotten better, but like half a year ago, maybe more, it sort of plateaued. where it's just some days it's really bad, other days it's, you know, manageable. Like yesterday, I basically had almost nothing. Today I have a little bit. So far it's not too bad, but, and it's hard to describe to people because it's not really a headache. You know that like blockheaded feeling you get when you're sick? It's like that, but it's very localized right here. And it can get so intense that like, I can't even like play a video game or watch a TV show or anything without being like, ah. Like I remember watching Bo Burnham's Inside comedy special. I mean, it's pretty dark in a lot of spots, but I remember watching that and laying on the floor because at that time I was seeing a physical therapist who gave me all these like positions to try and everything that we were hoping might do something for my headache. And like I barely concentrated on the show at all because I was just headache. And like I went through chiropractic 12 sessions. I went through the physical therapy 12 sessions. Like I said, I saw a neurologist who gave me a couple of different meds to try. And like, I don't remember which all ones they were. Two of them just didn't do anything. One of them actually was like making my heart race even more and it wasn't helping. So I was like, this is not it. Just, I've tried so many things and nothing. I tried acupuncture for a bunch of times. I mean, nothing has really done anything to help my headache. And like, I sort of tried to keep a food log and everything like that, and I haven't really figured out if that any kind of trigger for that. I will say sleep deprivation doesn't help. And as far as like stress goes and stuff, I don't know. That doesn't seem to really affect it either. I mean, it doesn't help, but, and of course it's cyclical. I get stressed because my head hurts. So anyway, in an hour, I actually, have an appointment with a new PCP because my insurance my husband got a new job and they finally fully hired him last month. And so we got health insurance, although they haven't sent us our cards yet for some reason. But I have the name of I have the numbers and stuff like that. I just don't have a physical card. So I'm gonna go to a new doctor, and I haven't seen a PCP, about my headache since July. And I mean, you know, 6 months into this 2-year pandemic, maybe there's some new treatments for me to try. Like I was reading about some steroids that they're using to help some people with long COVID. And I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping that I can get access to that. We were on Washington Medicare for 4 months, between my husband. Well, my husband had a new job like immediately, but they were keeping him as a temp hire, which didn't include health insurance. So, but I don't know. I'm hoping that, you know, there's something, but at the same time, you know, nothing else has helped. So I'm just I'm trying things, but I'm not holding my breath on any of them. But back to the Spoonie thing. Basically, again, it's like a pretend unit of measurement for how much ability you have to get the things you want to get done. And, you know, compared to like bedridden people and stuff, I definitely have more spoons. But I have never lacked creativity. I have never lacked inspiration. Like, I don't even really watch other YouTubers very much because while I do, I'm like getting all these ideas for videos that I'll write down and, you know, I'll want to run off and do. But even if I do happen to have somebody home that day to watch the kids, it's also a matter of whether my headache lets me. So, but it feels egotistical to call myself a Spoonie, again, compared to like people who can't get out of bed. But I don't know, you know, all trauma is valid, all illness, you know, it's not a contest. It's not a who's suffering more. It's the feeling of just being so frustrated at your body, at your mind, or whatever it is that is preventing you from getting the things you want to do done, you know? And it's like, I'll be looking at a list of events. I'm like, oh, this, I want to go to this, I want to go to this. And then the day comes and, you know, it's in the evening. And if my husband wants to go with me, it has to be after the kids are in bed because my dad cannot handle watching the kids when they're awake. And so we're talking like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And almost always by then my headache is really bad. And I just like, yeah, aspirin or anything doesn't work anyway. So yeah, if you also deal with chronic illness, which, you know, can be physically apparent, can be not physically apparent, you know, the hashtag, like, do I look ill to you, I think is one of the ones that people use on Twitter or whatever, and they'll post a picture and talk about, you know, I'm a pediatrician and I love to do yoga and stuff, but I also have, you know, this disease that makes it so that I get tired easily or whatever. Because, you know, we see it a lot with anti-vaxxers and stuff where it's like, well, only people with disabilities are dying of COVID. It's like, first of all, that's not true. Second of all, even if it was true, why the fuck do you think that disabled people don't deserve to live? Like, guess what? The thing about disabled people is, like, you can become disabled at any time, you know? Like, I was very able-bodied before this headache, and I'm still relatively able-bodied, but, you know, having this headache makes it so fucking hard to get anything done. And you too. I mean, you could get in a car accident and end up a paraplegic or whatever, you know? So this condemnation and dehumanization of disabled people is just, it's just horrible. I mean, why? I don't know. People are selfish and stupid, but anyway, that's it. I just felt like talking a little bit about this Spoonie thing, and you know, if there's stuff you deal with also, feel free to put it in the comments. I do read the comments. I tend to, at this point in time, I tend to delete the asshole ones because I don't think it's adding to the conversation at all. Or, you know, you can at me on Twitter or something like that and we can talk about it. I have all my contact info listed at www.toplesstopics.org/contact because I'm always getting accounts banned. So I update the page. And here's hoping that, you know, the PCP can recommend me to some kind of new treatment that, fingers crossed, helps with my headache so I can get more of the stuff that I want to get done. Because I have all these ideas, and I just don't have the spoons to do them all. And it really fucking sucks. Bye.